Welcome to Dr. P.C. Verma Economist YouTube classes. In this class, we are here to learn equilibrium in domestic economy, which is closed economy. And then we will shift to open economy, equilibrium in both consumption sector and production sector. This diagram is used in favor of free trade. When there is closed economy, there will be equilibrium in consumption sector as well as equilibrium in production sector, determined with the help of consumers' budget constraint line and indifference curve for all consumers represented as community indifference curve. In the whole community, level of satisfaction is measured by a set of community indifference curve, which represents iso-utility condition for all consumers taken together. So when we talk about domestic equilibrium, then there will be equilibrium in consumption sector as well as equilibrium in production sector from national point of view, from the whole economic point of view. And then we put these two into one figure, then we will have autarky position. Autarky means there is no foreign trade, there is domestic equilibrium in consumption sector and production sector. So look on the board how to draw this line and understand this diagram. Suppose this is community endowment, and this is community utility level. There may be U0, U1, U2, U3. This is all social indifference curve. Social indifference curve. And the equilibrium is at point E, where M and N quantity of X goods and Y goods are produced. This is domestic closed economy, domestic trade. consumption equilibrium. Consumption equilibrium in a closed economy is obtained when number one condition that economy price line Px by Py is tangent to utility U1, which is community iso-utility curve or social indifference curve for the economy as a whole. And second condition, that social indifference curve must be tangent. Social indifference curve slope must be equal to slope of price line, that is marginal rate of substitution x for y must be equal to Px by Py, that is slope of U2, slope of U1 equal to slope of AB price line. This is called closed economy, domestic trade, consumption equilibrium, or equilibrium of consumers as a whole. Equilibrium of consumers as a whole. And another sector is production possibility frontier. Production possibility frontier. Production possibility frontier, or PPC, production possibility curve. Production possibility curve. Price line is tangent to it at point E. At point E, this Px by Py is tangent, and X goods and Y goods in the country produced. In the country it is produced at E line. What is the conditions? Conditions of equilibrium. Conditions of equilibrium for consuming sector. consuming sector. Two conditions are there in consuming sector in closed economy. Likewise, there is conditions of production sector equilibrium in closed economy. In closed economy. Condition number 1. Factor price line or commodity price line. Price of labor by price of capital is equal to price of X by price of Y. Factor price line or commodity price line. Both are assumed to be the same. Then there will be only one line which will represent PL by PK and PX by PY. And second condition, that domestic price line is tangent to social indifference curve. Domestic price line is tangent to social indifference curve. Social indifference curve at E point. At E point. Number 3. Domestic price line must be domestic price line is tangent to social influence curve, and at the tangency point, at the tangency point, U1 community indifference curve must be convex to the origin. Convex to the origin. Convex to the origin. Convex to the origin. Closed economy, domestic trade consumption, production sector equilibrium in closed economy. This is very basic and foundation course. It will have long journey in different chapters. So in consumption sector, we read in microeconomics one single consumer indifference curve. Here we have indifference curve of the nation as a whole. Consumer of the nation. Consumer of the nation is considered to be one. And so at national level, indifference curve is represented by U1, U2, U3 as the economy as a whole. Convexity condition and tangency condition. These are the two most important rules. First rule is tangency and second rule is convexity of the indifference curve, the point of tangency. So we have seen here that this is domestic equilibrium in closed economy for the consumers in the nation consumption sector. And this is equilibrium in the production sector where factor price line or price of the commodity both are taken together, and production sector equilibrium is represented by production possibility curve, and this shows that resources in the economy is fixed, OA and OB. This O and OB is the resources endowment of the country, and this, if all endowment is used in the production of Y commodity, then we will be at A. And if it is used only for X commodity, we will be at D. But we have seen in case of Pareto analysis that all points on production possibility curve is optimal curve, where firm A and firm B both will jointly produce X and Y. Firm A produces X, firm B produces Y, and then isoquant is tangent, and we get the production equilibrium in Pareto optimality case. So this production possibility curve is taken here. This gives us that what combination of X and what combination of Y will be produced in the economy for trading purpose. Look here, we draw a line. This is domestic price line. This is domestic price line. And as we have seen that the equilibrium point is A. At E point there is equilibrium, and this equilibrium is most important, that is taken for the closed economy. And there is a line which is tangent to this place. This point is known as F point. F point means production possibility curve is there, but price line will change. Domestic price line will change into international price line. This is all closed economy. This is closed economy. This is closed economy at point E. Because this is domestic price line. Domestic price line PD. Now economy is opened. Then there will be shift in the price line and more attractive to the domestic traders. Relative price has changed and it is profitable. It is for their benefit if they export and import. This export and import is in terms of goods. Goods exported, goods imported. This is called real terms of trade. And और ए पैरेलल लाइन, पहले आप टेंजेंसी प्रोडक्शन का बना लीजिए नीचे, बाद में खींचने में दिक्कत होगी, पहले बना लीजिए और तब बीच वाला जो है इन बिटवीन द टू, उसको आप स्ट्रेट लाइन उसके पैरेलल खींचिए। वो इक्विलिब्रियम नहीं है क्योंकि वो इंटरसेक्शन कर रहा है। लेकिन इन द इकोनॉमी दिस इज नेसेसरी टू शो दैट इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड इज डन बाय द इकोनॉमी व्हेन प्राइस इज अट्रैक्टिव। In the first stage, whatever is produced for domestic purpose, you will do sacrifice and your some portion you will export. For example, tea, sugar. We have produced sugar for ourselves. But if sugar is demanded in foreign country and our sugar gets a place there, in competitive price, and in lieu of sugar you will get fertilizer for cultivation of sugar cane, then we will like to spare some sugar, whatever we have produced, export it, and in lieu of that we will get in return fertilizer which will be used for production of more sugar cane in the crop fields. Therefore, look here, draw a line. This is the amount of export and this is the amount of import. Import. When the price line changes, when the domestic price line changes, PD changes to international price line, PI. This is international price line. At this price line, what we find out that country was at indifference curve 1, now country will shift to indifference curve 2. Country will shift from U1 to U2. U1 is domestic equilibrium. U1 is domestic equilibrium at point E. This is called autarky. What is this is called? Autarky, where there is only domestic trade. Domestic trade means autarky. Autarky is a place, situation where there is only domestic trade. Autarky is a name used in free trade chapter, that there is a free trade. But before free trade there was domestic trade. Domestic trade is explained as autarky. Autarky is a domestic trade equilibrium where there is equilibrium of both consumption and production. Look here in the third diagram, same diagram is repeated there. This diagram is further converted into open economy. This diagram is converted into open economy. Autarky is changed into open economy. So look here, this is international price line. And we draw one indifference curve, U3. This is C1. International price line shifted and domestic trade turns into foreign trade. Domestic trade turns into export of X goods. BE import of Y goods. BC. Look here. At E point there was domestic trade. Now open trade, open economy is established, open trade, international trade is allowed. Then this country, out of their own production, look here, production was this one. Production was KE. What was production? KE of X. So VE out of KE. Out of KE of X goods. KE of X goods. VE out of KE of X goods, horizontal axis, will be exported. And in return, country gets VC. Country returns VC import. That is larger than the export quantity. And therefore country will move from lower indifference curve to higher indifference curve. Look here. Country moves from U1 to U2. U1 to U2. This is called gains from exchange. Gains from exchange. U1 to U2. Gains from exchange will take place without any new production. This is what was produced earlier, and when the economy decided to export it, then out of their own quantity or own consumption, they are prepared to sacrifice. And due to sacrifice, whatever they have X commodity, some portion of X commodity is exported. Because price, international price line is attractive to the producers. So though they were happy in domestic economy, they were producing X and Y and selling in the domestic market. Because there was domestic economy, closed economy. Now closed economy is turned into open economy and international trade is allowed by the government. Then producers will decide that whatever they have produced, from that some portion export. And they are successful. They exported VE and imported VC. The economy as a whole shifts from U1 to U2. So country moves from lower indifference, social indifference curve to higher social indifference curve. And this is called gains from international trade. So long as this gain exists, there will be international trade. They will shift from domestic trade to international trade. They will shift from autarky to a new state of foreign trade. Nowadays, foreign trade plays important role because countries shift from U1 to U2 without making new attempt, with the help of whatever they have. If they have excess, then it's all right. This is Adam Smith says foreign trade is a vent for surplus. Adam Smith said that vent for surplus. Ventilator. Air आगे पीछे आता भी है और जाता भी है. If we have excess of production, then vent for surplus will be foreign trade. But here we have their production KE, and out of KE we have decided to export VE and import V1, import VC. Country will move from lower indifference curve to higher indifference curve. This is the first step as soon as closed economy is turned into open economy and domestic trade is converted into foreign trade. But then before Marshall, Adam Smith said there will be gains from specialization. Gains from specialization. Then this country will specialize in the production of X goods, and larger quantity is now produced at that price, because international price line is tangent to production possibility curve at point F. This is production equilibrium in open economy. This is production in open economy. Production equilibrium in open economy. Because international price line is tangent to production possibility curve. Tangent to production possibility frontier. Production possibility curve. And now, look here, larger proportion of X commodity which is demanded abroad, produced in our country, and that will be exported by V1, C1 quantity, larger quantity. V1, C1 quantity, larger quantity. The vertical distance is larger than the horizontal distance. Larger quantity will be imported of Y goods, more beneficial. Suppose we are selling sugar and importing fertilizer. That fertilizer will be used and this will increase production of sugar cane and other things also. So there will be gains from a specialization. Gains from a specialization. And what does it mean? That V1F exported. V1F, V1C1, V1C1 exported, and VC
imported, V1C1 imported.
V1C1 imported for V1F export. V1F export. So production equilibrium was at E, now shift to F. Production equilibrium will shift from E to F, and consumption equilibrium shift to C to C1. Consumption equilibrium shift to U2 to U3. U2 to U3. So from U1 to U2, this is called gains from exchange in foreign trade. In foreign trade. And U2 to U3, this is called gains from specialization. Gains from specialization. Gains from specialization. That after specialization, after specialization, this is possible. And now, what is the overall effect? Overall effect, what country will reach here? This is called gains from international trade. Gains from international trade. From U1 to U3. U1 to U3 is gains from international trade. So it is said by all these things which we are, this is written in P.T. Ellsworth. P.T. Ellsworth, that gains from international trade is equal to gains from exchange plus gains from specialization. From indifference curve of the country U1 to U2, U2 to U3, and what is total? That country will shift from U1 to U3. It also said that international trade is preferred. Why? Because whole country will move from U1 to U3. First stage U1 to U2. Whatever they have, they exchange. But then they realize they started doing specialization. And by specialization, more production was done and exported. And then the country will move from U1 to U2, U2 to U3. This is known as gains from international trade. Under no tariff imposition. There is an assumption that there is a free trade. So this is open economy with free trade. Free trade policy. Free trade policy means no tariff. No tariff. No tariff. This is said that even if there is no tariff, nation will be benefited. The whole economy will shift from lower indifference curve to higher indifference curve, community indifference curve. First stage, there will be exchange of goods which we have. And if we know that our product is demanded in the world market, then we will be ready to sacrifice some portion of our produce and we will export it. And first stage we export BE. है ना? एक लड़का YouTube पर पूछा है कि सर इस चित्र को एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए, क्योंकि जहाँ हम लोग इसको दिए थे तो वहाँ लाइटर वेन में सारा बात बोला गया था। तो उस लड़के के इस रिक्वायरमेंट पर इसको हम अभी आपको सारे को खोल के बताए ताकि आप सब समझ सकिए, है ना, कि इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय व्यापार में जो प्राइस लाइन है, घरेलू प्राइस लाइन दो तरह का है, एक कंज्यूमर के लिए, एक प्रोड्यूसर के लिए। कंज्यूमर्स प्राइस लाइन हो गया बजट प्राइस लाइन, लेकिन प्रोड्यूसर का भी प्राइस लाइन होता है, वो बजट प्राइस लाइन होता है, प्रोड्यूसर्स बजट। प्रोड्यूसर्स प्राइस लाइन को क्या कहते हैं? PL/P के। कंज्यूमर्स प्राइस लाइन कहते हैं PX/P। और दोनों एक एस्यूम कर लेते हैं तो एक ही हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन होगा जो सटेगा इसमें। तो ये जो चित्र है, ये चित्र इस दोनों चित्र का मिश्रण है। ये बात आप ग्रेजुएशन में पढ़ते हैं। एक कंज्यूमर